is Maruti, which has been under intense pressure after posting dismal sales in the month of September. However, the street seems divided on the future outlook of the company. Joining us now to debate the future is Ashwin Patil of LKP Securities, who is a bull on Maruti, and we have Deepak Shenoy of Capital First in, who is a bear on Maruti. Gentlemen, afternoon to both of you. Deepak, I'm going to start off with you because the stock has been under pressure. So put your case forward. Why are you a bear?
So Sonia, my bearishness is largely on a short-term basis. There are about 3 or 4 points here. I think one of the key points, of course, is the sales. We've seen 3.7% over last year, though last year had seen a significant rise in September. Exports are down 26%, and that I think is one of the reasons why this is the second lowest sales growth month in the entire year, and I mean in the sense of FY16 so far. I think that is disturbing in a situation where, and the larger macro picture here is vehicle loans as given by banks are down 4.7% compared to last year. So vehicle loan growth is negative. So in that sense, I see as Maruti is the biggest player, it would also be impacted by this slowdown in vehicle loan growth and in slowdown in sales growth. The second factor is technical, and that's why I'm a short-term bear on this, is that it has broken through its 20, and I think today it's broken through the 50-day moving averages as well. We see a number of indicators showing us on the chart that it looks, at least for the short term, quite negative. The volumes on this downside have been very heavy compared to the recent rise. So we believe that therefore there is a lot of damage, and it's perhaps is institutional selling that's driving the stock. Third, of course, and these are smaller issues which may not impact the stock quite as much. I think we've had other cars walk into the Alto territory. I think Renault has introduced a car that is at priced close to or even below the Alto levels, which is Maruti's traditional market, has been for the last 30 years. The first time it probably will get pressured in that space. These are the three primary factors I see for it in the short term. I don't see this as bearish for more than a year or more than even 3 months.
Okay, Ashwin, how do you counter that? Because some of the concerns are genuine, whether it's what's happening with the competition in the Alto space, or whether it's what's happening with Maruti's sales numbers. The response to S-Cross as well has not really been great. The company is already announcing discounts. Why are you still a bull on Maruti?
See, Maruti's numbers, if we see in the month of September, they have come down mainly because of the export markets, and exports have gone down by 26% because the company has missed export shipment. That means there was a delay in the shipment of exports close to 3,500 units, and that will get adjusted in the month of October. So it is not really a cause of concern, and weak monsoons also have led to some disappointment in the rural markets, because of which the domestic markets have grown just by about 6.8%. But going forward, I think that month of October, where the company is going to launch an Ertiga hybrid, and at the end of October or November first week, just before Diwali, there will be a launch of the new Baleno refresh. And these two vehicles will add to volumes certainly in the festive season. And going beyond that, for the full year basis, we are very much bullish on the stock because of these new launches. Definitely there is competition coming from Renault Kwid in the Alto space, but the company has now entering into the bigger car markets by the recent launch of S-Cross, which you have already said that it has got a weak response right now. But the company is already doling out some discounts, and I don't think that S-Cross is really contributing very significantly to the volumes. It's just selling about 2,000 to 3,000 units, and discounts associated with that also will be not that huge to hit the profitability of the company. And it has got currency benefits on its side. Definitely they are also doing quite too much on the cost-cutting initiatives at the company level, and the new high-end cars will add to the profitability. So on and on, it's a short-term concern that my counterpart has pointed out. But I think on the other side, we are bullish on fundamental basis, and that too on a long-term basis, maybe like a year or so. And we are having a target close to 4,800 on it.
Ashwin, I just want to counter that, because you said that the S-Cross sales have been falling, and that is the key concern, right? Because Maruti is now increasing its investments into the distribution angle. They are looking to buy land for dealerships, and they're looking at all of this in the premium segment. You said that hopes are high of the profitability improving in the premium segment, but as of now we've not seen that play out. Do you think it's a wrong call that Maruti is taking of increasing their presence in the premium segment?
No, not exactly. See, first of all, Maruti's image is of of a small car manufacturer or made for India, that kind of. And it's actually expanding its horizons and entering into the large car space. And I think it can definitely try its its opportunities over there, because it's a higher margin business and a different game altogether. So definitely there will be risks at the initial phases, but a proper distribution channel and proper marketing will definitely help them to make a good move in this market.
Okay. Deepak, I just wanted to come to one point you made where you said that for the shorter term, Maruti, there could be more pressure in Maruti. But what about the long-term investor? At what point do you think Maruti will once again become an attractive buy for the longer term?
So Sonia, I think the issue here is where does the price go from here? What kind of selling pressure is on? If it's an institutional sale, they may be readjusting their portfolio. That might just take the stock down to as far as the selling pressure will go. Right now the market's bullish overall. Luckily this kind of selling has happened in a bullish market. If it were bearish overall, then we would have seen the stock tank a lot more than this. I believe that the base valuation for this would probably be 4,000, at below which I do not see that stock going. However, if it does, that might be attractive. One of the good things about this stock is it's 50% of India's car market. It is also it's going to benefit tremendously from the drop in commodity prices. Drop in commodity prices will affect profitability. Even if sales are not so buoyant, I still think we'll see an uptick in terms of profitability due to the cost numbers coming down. The second thing is they're not aggressive enough, which I think they should be. A little bit of complacency perhaps is also set in, so they need to get more aggressive in the marketing, at least in the festive season coming up. I think if they were to do this, there would be no doubt this is a good stock in the longer term.
Okay, Deepak, I want to just counter your short-term negative view as well, because we've seen this in the past. Maruti has been around for years now, and the small car segment, it still remained the unquestionable leader. We've had competition in the past as well. Why do you think this time it could be different in the near term, especially with the Renault Kwid? Do you think the price point itself could be a bit of a deterrent, or is there anything else that you're reading right now?
So actually here's the status. I mean, I haven't been in market for a car for a while, but what I've been reading actually in terms of features, at least at the small car level, you have things that you would otherwise not imagine in a small car. H-matic automatic transmission cars at the extreme small end. We've seen Ford do this. We've seen a number of improvements that are happening in the ultra small car segment, and at prices that you would not really imagine, sub 5 lakh, sub 4 lakh cars having these kind of feature sets. I think that is one of the areas where Maruti will see an impact if the price point is attacked. Right now they, I think, survive on at the Alto market primarily because of price. It is not really a phenomenal feature car, but if the competition were to come in and introduce those extra features at around or even lower than the Alto price point, then I think they would have to pull up their socks and move in there. One of the big problems now is that you have a bad monsoon, and some of the traditional buyers may find it more difficult to justify their purchase of a Maruti. Maruti still has one of the largest dealership networks, so you can get a Maruti repaired anywhere in India. Even that is starting to change. We've seen Hyundai walk into that marketplace tremendously. I mean, that's the distribution network situation itself is changing. So at this point, I think while their sales are under threat, I don't see that Maruti can't meet the challenge. I think they will buck up and gear up, and they have to put a response to this.
Oh,
But I
yes,
don't see that as, they're only that they own the market. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was saying that, they're experts at beating or combating this challenge. I mean, we've seen it several times in the past. And it's almost like a deja vu conversation. We had the same conversation when the Hyundai i20 was launched, when the Hyundai Eon was launched, and they just kept beating competition time and again. But, I want to get one view in, Ashwin, from your end. I know you're a bull, but give and take everything, if we do see them, increasing their investments into buying land for dealerships, something that they have spoken about in the past, how much of a negative do you think that could be? Because if they, now that they have the capex, if they use that money to buy land rather than, earn about what, 7-8% on it, do you expect to see any impact on earnings at all?
See, land prices are already at high at this point in time, and this move may pose a bit of a risk to them. But as we say that first you need to invest in order to fetch returns. So if they do that at this point in time, there will be certainly some short-term pressure on the profitability of the company for a quarter or two maybe. But then beyond that, once they start, selling the units from produced from that particular land, the returns will be definitely moving up. And I think that definitely on a long-term basis, the profitability will remain intact.
All right, Ashwin, thanks a lot for your views today. Deepak, you of course stay on with us. We'll discuss some more stocks with you, but that was our discussion on Maruti.